Quote from the book on virtual inventory management. The inventory optimization process includes all inventories at the supplier and customer locations and those in the hand of logistics partners. If IT inventory systems do not supply integrated data, you need to find a way around this. The semiconductor crisis has made this a super hot topic. A couple of years ago, just insisting or checking that your Tier 1 suppliers had sufficient material looked like a sound approach. Today, OEMs acting this way report massive lost sales. In this video, we will take a look at the semiconductor supply chain to illustrate how important the holistic management of the entire supply chain has become. Let's get started. This is the super long semiconductor supply chain that you're dealing with. I've inserted a couple of company logos that are relevant for the automotive industry to make this more meaningful. But these logos are purely illustrative. Normally, an OEM customer is just dealing with Tier 1 suppliers. Well, there may be some exchange of IC vendors, but this is typically to increase awareness of new specs and technologies. Anyway, let's look at the supply chain. It all starts with the IC vendors. In order to design an IC, they conduct their own research and combine this with off-the-shelf IP and software. The final design is then produced either in an in-house factory that is often referred to as a fab, or in an outsized factory that we call foundry. The fabs and the foundries are where the physical supply chain starts. These factories use sophisticated equipment that can often only be provided by one company in the world. And they use all kinds of materials like wafers and chemicals. Typically, the finished wafer that is about this size is then sent to an OSAT. OSAT stands for Outsourced Semiconductor Assembly and Test. The OSAT cuts down the wafer into its individual ICs that are as big as the nail on your pinky and tests the ICs. Good ICs are then packaged with passive components, potentially some other ICs, substrates and pumps into the product that can be put on a board. After the OSAT, the next step is a distributor. The distributor's key functions encompass carrying the inventory on the books, warehousing the ICs, and shipping them to the factories that require them. An IC always has software, and the software is mostly added at the OSAT, but this can also happen at the distributor or the Tier 1 supplier. Now, in this pretty complex supply chain, bottlenecks can occur everywhere. The foundry may lack equipment to ramp up production. There may be a shortage of the specific wafer required to make the ICs you need. The OSAT may lack testing fixtures or substrate. And to make managing the supply chain even more challenging, lead times can be really long. It is not uncommon to see lead times of 12 months, meaning that if you order today, you will only receive the product in a year from now. In the past, OEMs mostly got away by dealing with the Tier 1s. Unfortunately, the supply chain has run dry. This has been caused by increased demand from home office, homeschooling, the associated cloud services, and 5G going mainstream. And also by COVID restrictions somewhat curbing originally planned capacity expansions. In today's reality, just insisting or checking that your Tier 1 suppliers have sufficient material is totally insufficient. What many high-tech companies and leading car makers are now doing is managing inventory across the entire supply chain. In the end, everything affects you. If the foundry runs out of wafers, you don't get ICs. If the OSAT runs into a bottleneck with testing fixtures, you don't get ICs. Managing this entire supply chain in a closed feedback loop is the only way to ensure that you can serve your end customers with finished products. So there you have it, F6 Virtual Inventory Management, the purchasing chessboard method that is key for succeeding in today's semiconductor crisis. Okay, now it is your turn. To what extent are you affected by the semiconductor crisis? And are you already fully leveraging virtual inventory management? Should you have a question, let me know in the comments down below and I will get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you for watching and I see you in the next one. Bye!